Appreciate everybody being on time. Appreciate that. Getting this recorded. But for those that don't know me, obviously all you all know me, Kenneth Francis here in Houston, Texas, a little northwest of Houston, Texas, and just excited to be here and host this call and really to share with my community and some of the close friends of mine, business partners and friends of mine, what's taking place here in the Houston area, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other locations around the country soon as well. And I know these gentlemen that I'm going to bring on have an extensive background in real estate and in business, and I've done extremely well for many, many years. And just want to really introduce them and allow them to come on and share with you all what I learned the last over the last few days, just doing some deep dive and some diligence, and then hearing from them on a call yesterday, one on one, and just hearing their passion for people and their passion to really, establish what they call a coalition, a collaborative coalition, and to help people tap into real wealth and equity and create a legacy for themselves or whatever it is that you're looking to do. You want to establish some credit, right? We've heard that. You want to establish some business entities, right? We've heard about that. You want to get some funding, right? These things are familiar to a lot of us that have been kind of plugged in over the last 6 months with some of the entities and platforms we've run into and partnered with as well. So the first individual is Adrian Dynamite Sloan. This gentleman is a serial entrepreneur like myself, third generation business owner, 20 plus years of business ownership. He's an expert in the financial markets, and he's also a published author. And then my good friend Terrell Bilbo, 20 plus years in real estate as well, professional there, custom home builder and land developer, financial advisor, and a certified blockchain expert. That's where we actually met, Terrell and myself. We met here in Houston at an event with one of my partners who's probably going to be on here shortly here if he's not. But we hit it off. I knew the brother was very dynamic and just a ultimate professional as well when it came to what he had access to, and how he's very consistent with the messaging and sharing with people and helping people get access to the future of money, right? But we're going to talk about something as old as the planet, land, right, today. So I want to bring these gentlemen up. Whichever one of you want to take over, I appreciate you all taking time out of your day. I know you all are busy as well, but share with the community here, about the based business model and how they can participate, and why it's so important. The timing is very, very critical right now as well. And I look forward to, sitting back, taking some notes, man. So Trey, I see you on the screen. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
Taking it away. Appreciate
I'll go first because I know my partner gonna have some talking to do, so I'll let him go
it.
loud where I'm
Absolutely.
at.
Thanks, man.
But guys, great to meet each and every one of you today. Like he said, Terrell Bilbo, I've been in the real estate space for over 22 years now. Custom home builder for the last seven. And this has been my whole adult life, either whether it's in real estate, whether it's been in blockchain technology. This is what I've been doing. But more than anything, I realize that there's a huge gap in the knowledge that our communities have. And I've been blessed to be in certain rooms that others don't get to visit. But more than it, so I've learned that hey, it's about giving back. Each one teach one. So what we're doing here with Base, it's not really about selling a piece of property. I like I said, I've sold millions of dollars of real estate. But when I realized in my career earlier, when I was 2000, everybody remember the 2008 crash. But at that time, the statistics said the percentage of black home ownership was the highest it's ever been. If you had a post, you can get a house, right? But what I learned in that situation is that the benefit was that we were able to get people in homes. Where I failed my clients at is that I didn't educate them to say, hey, in 2 years you're gonna have a balloon payment. Let's work on that credit. So when that time comes, you can refinance and you can stay in your home. I did a poor job of educating. So this time around, we're making sure that we're giving the information that our communities need to have so they can position themselves in a way that we can preserve wealth for the long term, not for the short term. So, I'm excited to be on this call, man. I look forward to sharing this information with each and every one of you and partnering with my brother Ken, man. He's a dynamic individual in this space. He's been running and gunning for a long time. And for us to finally come together and really do something, we've been close a lot of times, but now, we
It's
got
true. It's true.
we got our chance to really, really connect and make something happen. I think this might be the biggest one, period. So, man, again, I thank everybody for being here, and I want to pass it to my brother, Adrian Dynamite Sloan.
All right, all right, all right. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you. Thank you.
All right, good stuff. I'm in a co-working space. I put the AirPods on for you, Ken, so I got noise cancellation. So we are
I
in
love Let's
in
go.
a good space. But listen, it's glad to be here with you guys, man. Again, paying homage to Ken, a great leader, man. From the time I've been here to speak with Ken, man, you guys know him longer than I have, but I know people and the passion, the excitement, the thoroughness, just the integrity of what I felt from Ken in our first conversation. Let me know he was the type of brother that I could talk to and be in business with. So kudos to you, Ken, for the career that you've built and the community that you continue to serve with a pure heart. I think in this space of in the financial markets, that's the key piece, man. I've been doing this for 20 years, and for me, being around a lot of different types of people. You know what I'm saying? And when you get around people who have a pure heart, who want to help people go to the next level, I mean, that just means a lot. And so when we talked about doing this call, I was excited to do it. To be able to help you serve the population that you serve and show you guys how to get long-term equity and building some projects for yourself. And so if anybody's on this call, I like interaction and conversation when I do a talk. And so if anybody's on this call ever bought a home, can you put a one in the chat for me if you ever bought a home before? Just so I know who I'm talking to. So making sure we're using the same language of understanding. And so a lot of things that we're going to talk about today are some things that you've already done, right? And you're familiar with. And so as we go through this project, if you bought a home before, then you understand the concept of actually having equity. And for people who's been renting homes, right, for a long time, all right, if you're still renting your home right now, just put a two in the chat. If you're still renting your personal home, your dwelling place, if you're still renting, put a two in the chat. I talked to a young lady yesterday, Ken, and she was telling me she's been renting her home for 10 years. 10 years. And I asked her a question. I said, how would you feel right now if the landlord of your property cut you a check and gave you all your rent back? How would you feel? And she was like, that would be amazing. I said, that's the power of equity. When you own something, that is money that you'll always be able to get back to be able to continue to grow. And this is the education we trying to put in our community to make sure we understand the importance of owning something. So base whole concept is putting people in a position of ownership. So we're gonna go through this presentation real quick just to show you guys a little bit about who we are, what the base opportunity is, and how you can get in position with your partner Ken to be able to drive. Because our whole concept is root economics and pulling it up. So I'm gonna have Terrell just drive the slides. We're gonna go through this, guys. I assure you, we'll be in and out of here in about 30 minutes tops. And so this won't take long to kind of go over because most of you guys on this call are homeowners already. So you already understand. So he's gonna go ahead and start with the video. So this is one of our projects here that's in Griggs. How many of you guys, before you hit play real quick on that, Tara, pause that 1 second. Let me just get a show of hands real quick. Just put a number one in the chat again if you actually live in the Houston area, because this market may look familiar to you. So if you're in Houston, then I just want to make sure we can relate to who understands where we at. So this project is a third ward revitalization program. This first townhome community is on Griggs. So you guys will be able to see what's going on, and you can actually drive by and see the dirt. So this is 12 townhome development that we're talking about right now in this first video that you'll get opportunity to see. All right, go ahead, Tara. We can have play on that.
Welcome to the Estates at Griggs, where luxury meets convenience in every aspect of your living experience. Located in the heart of Houston's vibrant Third Ward, this community offers a unique blend of urban energy and serene living. Imagine living in a place that offers the perfect blend of elegance and accessibility, where every detail is designed to enhance your lifestyle. Nestled between the nation's largest medical center and the rich cultural tapestry of the historic Third Ward, the Estates at Griggs provide a unique living experience that combines the best of both worlds. Just 5 minutes away, you'll find the world-class University of Houston and the historic HBCU, Texas Southern University, making it an ideal location for students and educators alike. Whether you're a student, a professional, or an investor, this prime location is designed to meet your needs, offering a dynamic environment that caters to a diverse range of lifestyles. Each home at the Estates at Griggs is designed with the highest standards, featuring modern kitchens, spacious living areas, and elegant bathrooms, all with breathtaking views of downtown Houston, the medical center, and the Galleria, providing a picturesque backdrop to your daily life. Our homes offer upscale family living and luxury student living with our 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom design, ensuring ample space and comfort for everyone. Everyone enjoys full amenities and privacy, making this a great home for your family or an ideal investment. Enjoy exclusive access to premium community amenities that cater to your every need, from fitness to relaxation and socializing. Living at the Estates at Griggs means you're never far from the best that Houston has to offer, with a vibrant dining scene, shopping districts, and beautiful parks all within reach. We also make your dream home a reality with our one-time close financing program, which simplifies the home buying process. Finance your land purchase and construction in one seamless transaction, with 0% down for those who qualify, making it easier than ever to own your dream home. Discover luxury living in the heart of one of the fastest growing cities, where modern urban living meets timeless elegance. The Estates at Griggs, your dream home or a smart investment for the future, offering both luxury and long-term value. Visit us today to learn more and schedule your tour. Our team is ready to help you find the perfect home that meets all your needs. The Estates at Griggs, where luxury meets opportunity.
All right, good deal. All right, so some of you guys are again from Houston, and you understand that area very well. Where that property is positioned at, and how that area is in a market. Well, real estate is prime, and so for us to be able to acquire 2.5 acres right there in the prime of that and prime of that space allows us an opportunity not only to construct 12 townhomes, but also to create a tiny home community right there for a student housing living for TSU or U of H right there in the heart of Third Ward. So we're excited about that. You guys will get an opportunity to be able to see this as we move through. So Base itself is a real estate development company. Obviously, guys, we're focused highly right now on building this high demand. In this first initial wave of our project, we did a crowd raise for $2 million in a capital raise. So if you've ever been a part of a capital raise, put a one in the chat if you've been a part of crowdfunding of any type of project before to be able to build a project. So we understand group economics is not a new concept. It's something that's been around for eons of living, right? So when you're a part of something that you can actually own something is great, right? And so like I tell everybody, imagine, partnering with the development company that actually built your development housing that you live in now. And how many years have it been there? And how many years could you have residual income if you partner with the developer? That's the base opportunity, right? We're a real estate development organization that allows people an opportunity to partner with us on projects and be in a position to be able to grow equity and long-term assets. We are a company that is backed and partnered with a hedge fund company, a private hedge firm that backed us for $25 million to be able to put all infrastructure in place for this particular project. But we wanted, because we're educators first, we wanted to have a group economic concept that we could bring the masses together to be able to have a level of equity and ownership in this project also, and teach our investors how to become accredited investors to be in a position to have a high value of ownership and a high value of buying power in the future. So the problem that we're solving right now, we see, Houston has a major shortfall of about 90,000 affordable homes, entry-level housing, and that's 350 and under. So with this being the fourth fastest growing city in the country, guys, you're talking about over 1,000 people a month is migrating to Houston and need housing. Anytime you have an area that you have a high level of population coming in migration, you're going to have a high need and demand for housing. So the solution for us is to provide an entry-level homes, also with some of the major universities in the Houston area, the student housing, and obviously that workforce living place is going to be a big deal. So our goal is to give the market what it's looking for. So investors have an opportunity for supply and demand. Simply being in a position to offer an opportunity for you to help make money with the market that's already growing. So we don't have to create a market. Houston itself has already provided the market. So as a construction company, we come in and we just build homes to what the market needs. So why Houston and why now? Let's just look at the conditions. as I said earlier, the population is growing fast, that high demand. You look at the institutions. I mean, right now with the University of Houston doing so well in sports right now, I mean, it's just crazy that the amount of attention is coming this way. And we was looking at something yesterday just with FIFA coming here. I mean, you're talking about how many people is going to come look at Houston for visitation and may end up moving here because they love the surroundings of it. So the strategic alignment of where we are in Third Ward is just a great place where appraised values, where when developers look at areas to go into, you look at areas that's going to have great value, right? Being in the heart of the city is a great thing for where our property is at. In the historical standpoint of Third Ward, to be able to build up a historical area to allow people to have better living conditions inside of a market without things having to be torn down and people being moved out, we can increase ownership in that market. So this is the reason why we're saying right now it's a great market opportunity for everybody who want to get involved. So in this phase, as I said, when we look at a construction drawdown, the reason why I asked everybody earlier, have you ever bought a home before? Because if you ever built a home, you understand you have construction draws. So the project itself is a $25 million project with $5 million construction draws at a time. This is why this particular phase is so important, because everyone that invests right now, we only allow 10% to be available right now for investors to be able to invest into it. So 10% of that 5 million is that 500,000 that became available for private investors who want to come in with a minimum investment of 25,000 with no more than 100,000. And that's key. So why do we cap it at 100K? Is because again, we're education first. We wanted to allow as many people as possible from our community to be able to come in and have a level of ownership, to have first rights of refusal of this development. So we didn't put a max on it. That means one person could have took up the whole block, which really would have been a catch 22 for us as a development company, because we want to allow that entry level for business owners and investors to come in and get an equity share of this deal, and that we can educate and grow together, because we believe iron sharpens iron. So us bringing this opportunity to the market allows you to get a 10% rate of return on your money in 120 days. That fact of 120 days is very important also, because every investor that comes into base in this particular phase of the launch phase, you're in the construction drawdown. So we've already factored in that 500,000 out of that 5 million with the equity on that deal of 10%, right? To be set aside for every investor who came in now, that they could be made whole, guys. So if that makes sense to you, put a one in the chat if you understand that particular phase. Why can you join a company right now and invest into a project and put 25 or 50,000 or $100,000 into it and expect a 10% rate of return within 120 days? Is because you have a construction draw during this phase. The other phase does not have a construction draw phase. The other phases are a development phase. So the people who come after this particular phase will have to wait longer. They will have to wait 12 to 24 months to get the same 10% ROI that you guys can get in 120 days, because we're about to start breaking ground in 30 days and going right into our construction draw. So every investor that saw an opportunity, like Ken, and hopped on it and say, I want in right now, he gets that return on his investment in 120 days. But he also has a stake in the property of the inventory. And I want you to write this down. Everyone in the base community will go through our business building process. You get a chance to get the education, the one-on-one, and the walkthrough of how to build your LLC to have the business credit, how to get the business funding that's necessary. So everyone is in a position after this 120 days to when we're going to the construction phase, you can now get a construction loan against your business. Your business can be put inside of a trust. Your business can be protected. And now you're in a position to get first rights of refusal. This is very key. Write this down, to up to 10% of the inventory in the project. So one of the projects is 40 affordable homes, which means every investor that invests right now, you can get a maximum of 4 homes built under your business, and that you have ownership. Can you guys do me a favor and just put ownership in the chat? This conversation is about ownership. This conversation is not about you just doing things and being in the space. Like, I owned a network marketing company for 5 years. I understand how people feel when they just come into sales groups and you just make some cash flow, but you don't own anything. Guys, I understand it thoroughly. So being in a position right now that you can invest some capital, get a rate of return on your money in 120 days at 10%, you are made whole, right? And now you own the property that's getting built. You're partnering with the development company to get first rights of refusal to be able to build at cost. And I'm going to show you some examples at the end of the presentation of what that at cost looks like, but it's very lucrative. You can go right ahead, Tara. So this is first movers advantage right now, guys. That's what this phase is. On the back end, when we go into our development phase, this is what I'm sharing with you right now. You can screenshot this if you would like, but it's going to be a 10% rate of return, right? But instead of 120 days, because we're now outside of our construction phase, guys, we're in development phase, so it would be 12 months. So that means every investor at that point will be making a minimum of $100,000 investment at that time, because now we'll be crowdfunding 1.5 million, right? So that it'll be a minimum investment of $100,000, and you'll get an interest only payment every quarter with a balloon payment on the 13th month. 15% means a longer hold, 24 months interest only payment, and a balloon payment on the 25th month. So this is how the setup would be then, right after this particular phase. So if you see an opportunity for yourself throughout this call, I would advise you to get with Ken pretty quickly and say, hey man, I'm in. I want to get involved. Where do I send my wine structure so I can get an equity spot and have some ownership in that base development? Because after this phase closes out, guys, it's going to be right into the development phase. You'll get the same rate of return, but it's going to require more money for the investment, and it's going to be a longer time for withdrawal. All right, go right ahead, Tara. All right, so let's look at our project overview right now. So where the funds are allocated. So in our projects, as we'll go through here, the lower copy, right? So some of you guys are from Houston, so you understand that's over on the Fifth Ward side. So on the lower copy deal in Griggs, right? We're going right into that groundbreaking right now. Griggs with the townhomes, 12 of those. Lower copy is 40 affordable homes that we'll build, right? That you guys get access to see how many you want. The future project, we own 8 acres right outside of Prairie View A&M University. Did anybody on this call ever go to Prairie View? Anybody, any Prairie View alumni on this call? Right? If you're on this call, let it be known. Tara's alumni also, right? So we bought 8 acres. God blessed us to be able to get that property. And that's a big deal for student housing, but you're talking about 1,000 units that we'll build in contract with Prairie View University. So this is where the allocation will go. So the fund that you put in right now will help with the infrastructure going to the project. So let's go through the lower copy. This would be the 40 affordable housing. So we have 2.5 acres over here. So when you look at this particular deal at 40 entry-level homes, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. And let's talk about that for a second. When we look at the statistics and talking with a lot of government here in Houston, what we find that over 40% of the population here in Houston are single. They're not married, right? And so they own one car or no car, right? And so when you look at that, what the market is calling for are smaller homes in square footage, right? So 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 1 bedroom, 1 bath is what the market is calling for. Hey guys, we just want to fill the niche in the market, right? So we looked at and talked to your local government and see what is the market needs. This is what the market needs. So when we go into this particular development, this is what we're going to build. So let's look at the performance at the bottom and let's see how the math. And we look at the average cost of the build being around $150,000 to be able to build that particular home. So what would a person do that's in the base network? We will help you, as I said earlier, get a construction loan. Once you get that construction loan would take care of that 150,000. What does that include? That includes your dirt, right? So you own it, right? That includes your construction bill. And that includes paying the construction company to build it, right? And that piece would be us. We're inside of that base construction. What happens on the sales price side? Now look at this, guys. You're making $300,000 on the market sale of that deal. What is the profit margin? That's an average about $150,000. So if you were to make an investment, get your money back at 10% ROI in 120 days, so you have no more money involved. Let somebody just put leverage in the chat. Let's talk leverage for a second. If you could leverage your credit in your LLC and get a construction loan and be in a position now to leverage that company and your credit to be able to get a home built for you, working with the construction company, and you now can sell that home to the market and make $150,000 profit. Is that a good deal? Somebody put yes or yes in the chat. Do you feel like that's a good deal? If you could leverage your company and your credit to get a construction loan and make $150,000 average per home inside of a development, do you think that's a good deal? And do me a favor and put ownership beside that, because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about you joining in partnership with a development company that we will build at cost. So you get your land. Base makes about $20 to $30,000 for building these homes at cost that we pass on the extra money to our community. Guys, that is what group economics is about. It's a win-win situation for everyone because we've already bought the land, right? We've already bought the land. So we're transferring that land over to our network to create true ownership in our community that you can have a legacy for your family. Guys, that's what we're talking about here. That's our first project. If that makes sense to you guys, put makes sense in the chat. I really want to make sure you guys understand your power of being inside of a network of ownership where we're not just in sales, guys. We're not just doing transactions. This is not about just doing transactions. This is about ownership. So when you look at Griggs, let's take a look over there, right? With the Griggs particular project. Now look at this. In this deal, guys, it's two different styles of homes that we're building. One of the property is a 4-bedroom, one's a 3, right? And so that average cost could fluctuate based on that type of bill, right? Because that's more material, less materials. Okay, cool, we got that. Let's look at the bottom of this projection performance. When you look at this deal right here, guys, at a construction cost of around 3.6 million and an estimated profit of 3.7 million, that'll be divided between those townhomes. Somebody just put profit in the chat. Again, if you could leverage your credit to get the construction loan to build that townhome that you just seen in that video, and you can now have that home to be able to own it yourself as a buy and hold, or you can lease it out or sell it, however you want to do it. But this is the key thing, guys. You have 40 to 50% equity in that home. I just wanted to let that marinate for a second. When you build this home at 400 to 450,000, that home that's just, and these numbers are not even accurate anymore because that one of the homes that's built right there on the lot just got appraised. It appraises at $900,000 now. I'm talking about this is just 3 or 4 months later. The construction of that house is done. That house is appraised for over $900,000. And that house took about 400 to 450,000 to build. Now let's just pause for a moment. When you go into the market to buy a home, can we agree that most people buy houses at cost, at market cost, right? You might be a little under if you get a deal, and you might be about 20% in the market. Is that pretty much fair, right? Most people are looking for homes that they can buy to have a little bit of equity. What is the power of partnering with Base as a development company? When we build a home at cost, that means as a developer automatically has 40 to 50% equity in the home. Hello. That equity now becomes yours as our partner because again, Base owned the dirt. We already built the home for you, and now we pass on the ownership to you. Is that a good deal or what? So I want to make sure you guys understand that because those townhomes are a great deal. Now let's talk a little bit about our financial structure. Now this is very, very dear to my heart because I've been serving in the financial markets for over 20 years. And so when we talking about how do we help serve families to make sure that they own their property, right? Has anybody ever had someone pass that didn't have a will? You could put me in the chat if you have. Have you ever heard of anybody property getting tied up in probate? Have you ever heard that? Some people don't understand if you have a will, that does not mean that you don't go to probate. You still go to probate, which means it goes before a judge, and the judge has to decide based upon the will how it moves forward. But if that will is contested, then things are still tied up. Is that true or not true? So how do you skip that stage? See, this is when we talk about financial literacy in the Black and brown community. So what we advise everyone to do in Base, a part of our closing process is that when a person actually purchases a home, it's purchased in the name of their LLC. That LLC is now working with one of our attorneys, a trust attorney, to put into an irrevocable trust. That now that business and that property is now owned by the trust. Do you guys follow me thus far? So what does that mean? That you have access to the asset, but you do not own it. Do you guys follow me? This is the powerful position of financial literacy that our community needs to hear. Then that product itself is now wrapped up with an insurance product that property is fully protected. It has layers of legality over it that you can't get sued and someone can take it. You can't go through a divorce and someone can take it, right? You can't be in a situation where probate takes it over. Why? Because the project is protected. I love to tell this story. When I came to Houston last time, I had a meeting with a young lady, and I was sitting there at First Thursdays at 5115. And the young lady told me, she said, Sloan, I wish I would have met you 2 months ago. I said, well, why you say that? He said, because my mother had a property in Third Ward. And when she passed, We tried to buy it back. She had a reverse mortgage. Are you guys familiar with that? A reverse mortgage. She owned the property, took out another mortgage on the property after it was paid off, and they call it a reverse mortgage, right? And it was just a horrible freaking banking product for an elderly woman. Well, guess what? Her niece tried to buy the property, and she said, "Okay, I just need a little bit more time to get the down payment money." She pushed it back 2 weeks. The bank let her do it, not a problem. But guys, check this out. The bank then did not notify her. Yeah, they'll let you push it back, but the property went into foreclosure. And we all know no bank is giving you a loan for a purchase, right? When a property's in foreclosure. Is that true or not true? Guess how much the money was? $11,000. She lost her mother's home, a 40 plus year historical landmark in their family, over $11,000. It was heart wrenching because the fact of the matter of it is, the bank didn't take the privy to give her the education of the financial literacy that, hey, you got to watch this due date. If you push it back, it's going to fall into foreclosure. And they lost the property. Simple and plain. See, this is the impact that base will make in the community. Our goal is not only giving people ownership, but it's giving them the education. And the only way we're going to be able to grow our community tier after tier, generation after generation, if someone teaches the secrets of the wealthy. If we got to pull back the layers of the onion and teach our people how to get a property and keep a property. Guys, it's a powerful deal that we're doing. So this is the Prairie View property. At 8 acres, as I said, turns into a thousand beds, right? For the university. This property will not be sold. It will be owned by the company at all times. And so it becomes a long-term cash flow, right? It becomes a long-term cash flow. That's about an $8 million gross project on that deal. Guys, you're talking about $4 million that'll be rev shared right between the investors on that Prairie View property. Again, a big deal, guys, to be able to have that type of deal. But this is the beautiful part. Prairie View won't be the last one. It's 99 HBCUs in the country. We're already in conversation with other HBCUs to be able to buy property outside of their land or even JV with the school that will build on their land and put the long-term lease in place because we have the development capital to build it and we just give that luxury to them. So what does that does for a school? If you have more beds, that means they can take in more students for more tuition. Right now, it's already on documented that Prairie View A&M needs about 1,000 to 2,000 more beds for their students up to tuition. So they mean they can take in more students. They can have more people safely without having to convert back and forth from home on a highway, which is a safety issue. I have kids in college right now, so I understand how that feels as a parent when your kid is traveling up and down the highway. You want to make sure that they're safe. We bring in safety and safety and luxury to Prairie View University with this particular project. Super excited about it, but that's what we're doing across the country. Go right ahead, Tara. So as we wrap this up, guys, we said in conclusion, the second round of this deal in the development phase would be a 100,000 minimum with 10 to 15% over 12 to 24 months with quarterly interest. So right now, somebody just put urgency in the chat. Everybody got to move now. Put the word now in the chat. If you understand the sense of urgency of why Ken asked us to do this call, and we said we'll do it for you because we're closing out right now. Right. So if you want to get in, you got to move now. And because this project is about to wrap up, man, and you have to seize the opportunity in the lifetime of the opportunity. What we understand about opportunity window, they open and shut. And unfortunately, we have to close this one out this week. So if you guys want to get in, you got to move with a sense of urgency. But the opportunity is in front of you. Go right ahead, Tara. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up with two more slides. So buying inside the network, what's the power of that? Is that you get the first rights of refusal, which means you get access to all base inventory. We just got some more land that was showed to us from the bank just 2 days ago. So we got more projects to look at while I'm here in Houston. You get the best rates by partnering with the development company, and you got a great profit margin because you're partnering directly with us versus buying by yourself. Go ahead, Tara. So in two different scenarios, right? If investor one put in 100,000 in this particular situation, guys, you could put in $100,000, get that rate of return for yourself at 150, plus get your rate of return back on your money. Guys, you can see the margins on that. So let me ask you a question. If you can invest inside of a project and get 150, $160,000 back in 12 months without having to lift a hammer or a nail, would you think that's a good deal? Do you feel like that's a good deal? If you never had to do any development, but you made $160,000 just from leveraging, is that a good deal? That's the base opportunity. If you were the person that invested a $250,000, right, and got 15% ROI over 24 months in your home, and you bought a couple of properties, you got three of them, right, in that tiny home community, and you made a $500,000 over the next 2 years, would that be a good opportunity? Again, I want you to think about this just from a basic standpoint. Where do you live now? Do you live in a housing community? Do you live in a townhome community? Do you live in an apartment community? If you could have partnered with that developer and be able to get an ROI on your money over the next 2 years and made $500,000, would that been a good investment for you? Because guys, that's what we're talking about. See, we see housing developments pop up all the time. It's nothing new for a development company to find some land and be able to build on it. The difference of it is can you profit from it? See, that's the real conversation today. You have an opportunity to partner on it. And it's not even about the time frame. I had my nephew saw our presentation online. And I'm talking, and saying this right now for some of you guys that may say, hey, listen, the opportunity is closing out. I wish I had more time. See, I believe it's an opportunity falls into your lap. You know what you prayed for, you know what you're looking for, you know what you want. And if it's something that you're in position to do, right, the blessing goes to the door. My nephew saw this opportunity from Japan. He saw it online from Japan. And within 6 hours, he had already paid it. He sent his investment for 25,000 immediately. Why? Because he's in real estate. He saw it. He knew what it was. And he didn't want to miss the boat. So I just want to speak to some of you guys that may be thinking, hey, I might miss it. You don't have to miss it. If you see the opportunity and you're in position, take advantage of it. Because there's nothing new to see a development pop up. The only question is, can you get involved? And right now, everybody on this call has an opportunity to get involved because it's not closed out yet for the first round or moving right now. So this is the risk protection, right? The risk mitigation for the investors, the quarterly payments. You got a backed asset with real estate, transparent reporting because our CPA will send you a reporting out every quarter based upon your percentage. And you got an exit strategy because guess what? We're a company that's into marketing. We're an education company, which means we'll do first time home buyers programs. We'll have seminars and workshops. So what does that mean for people who understand real estate? We'll always have a network of qualified buyers that'll be ready to go at all times. So everybody right now can come inside this base community and be a part of the long term. This is not about a quick fix or let's just talk today and be gone tomorrow. Now you're talking about something sustainable that we can all grow our knowledge and iron can sharpen iron as we move into the future. That's what we're talking about, guys. All right. And so last slide, and we're out of here, guys. And so here's our contact information on how to get in contact with Terrell and I. You can screenshot that. But Ken is your point of contact. If you guys could do us a favor for all you guys that's interested and ready to move right now, get in contact with Ken and hey, say, man, I'm in. And if that's how you feel, we'll send you the information because that's what he did. He did that yesterday, and we're having this call today. Right. So if you're that person that follow Ken's leadership and you feel like he feels, if you could do me a favor, if you know where you're at right now, just put a 7 in the chat. If you already got in your mind that you're in and you're ready to move right now, just put a 7 in the chat so we know who you are. And Ken will know who he need to get in contact with because Ken building his network of individuals that he feels like should be a part of this project with him. So if you're in, put a 7 in the chat or hit Ken directly, guys, and let's move this deal forward. You know, this deal is about all education. I don't have a sales pitch for you or convincing conversation. I just want to give you the opportunity through this presentation so you can see it and understand the details and you can make an educated decision based on what you know and what you see and what you know to be real. That God ain't making no more dirt. Whatever's here is what's here. God ain't making no more dirt.
That's so
So,
true.
so he or she who can find the dirt and build something upon it will have a legacy for their family that will outlive them. And I don't know about you guys, but I have 4 children. So for me, when I look at doing things, I look at things from a legacy standpoint. What can I do with my resources, my time, my money to put my family in a situation that if anything ever happens to me, they're always in a winning position. And I think as we grow as adults, that's just the mindset that we have. We want something sustainable, something that's just not here today, gone tomorrow, something that we can go to bed at night knowing that we own something, that we have something to show for, right? You know, it doesn't matter how much money you had in your past. It matters what do you do what you have right now? Because the lifestyle we live tomorrow only comes from the decisions that we make today. That's where it comes from. All of our situations are today from decisions that we made yesterday. So if you're going to control your future, you got to control your present. So, guys, I'm gonna pass this back to Ken, and we'll look at everyone make a decision. Ken, you have one of your teammates to say she's in right now. Congratulations to the
Yeah.
young lady. Welcome to the Base Network and the Base family. We look forward to working with you. So, Ken, I turn it back over to you, brother. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to your team.
Yeah, thanks so much. Incredible information. And yeah, this is I actually got more today for some reason. I think maybe because it was live, but Yeah, I got chills in certain instances in this presentation. It was that powerful, man. So appreciate you delivering the message and basically laying out the strategy for each and every one of us. And yeah, I know that young lady in the chat. I know who that is, and I'll get back with her. But I'm pretty sure there are probably some other questions as well. And this recording as well will get back to those individuals that need to maybe revisit it and just soak it in a little bit more. But this is just the beginning, like you said, this isn't a small window, right? This is a window into the future, what we can do here with this project, not only here in Houston, but other areas as well. And I just wanted to make sure that the key people that I knew would see value in this got to hear from you all today. So I appreciate that. And we can wrap it up, man. I'll be in touch. And
Well,
tomorrow, one
well,
o'clock again, we'll be here again.
so
Go ahead.
so real quick, Ken. If anybody have any questions, we can do a
Okay.
Q and A. And if
Okay.
anybody have any
Sure.
questions, so
Awesome.
Tara and I can take a few questions for you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, you can they can all unmute, I'm pretty sure, right? If you have a question or just want to, give kudos to the information, go ahead and unmute and you can do that.
Hey, King, it's D.
Yes, sir. Coach D.
Hey,
Yes,
first of all,
sir.
I want to thank these young men, man. This was very powerful. Uh, blown away. Nothing surprised me anymore.
I
It
know,
just
right?
you just hadn't got through the door where somebody on the other side will open it and let you in
Mm.
and not judge you. So thank you guys for that. But also, I'm down here in the Atlanta area, so I'm wondering, are you moving around the country, or you just focusing on the Houston area?
Well, first of all, dear brother, we appreciate that. Again, God has been good to us, man. And we always feel like we only get ahead in our community was when we share. We never get ahead as a culture if we
Yeah,
keep it to ourselves. So that's what this is all about, is group economics. If you're in Atlanta, then you're familiar with the Stonecrest area, right?
I stayed 5 miles from it.
All right, so right there where the Black Wall Street Marketplace is, do you
Yeah.
understand? Yep. I was the first CEO of that deal working with Mr. Allen. So the
Oh,
Black Wall Street project, I served with him when
mm-hmm,
he created that place, and right there where the mansion is and the compound,
mm-hmm.
the school that's on campus, I work with the team out there in Stonecrest doing the same thing. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
again, Taylor and I went out there to view that. So we'll be a part of what they're doing. Obviously, since Mr. Allen passed,
Yeah,
unfortunately, but they're continuing on his legacy. So the
yeah.
education that we're talking about here, we already have plans to be a part of what they're doing there.
Okay, enough
So and
said.
yeah,
Enough,
so
enough
yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah. So we in alignment there. And so what's happening right here with the Houston project is the first opportunity because this is such a mass project. So
Mhm.
what I would say for you, if you're interested in the getting involved, get in now because you're already in the network. So you still would get the proceeds and the income that come from this project, even though you're not here. Like we have plenty of
Mhm.
investors that live in other areas, right?
Right.
And then you can still benefit from it, get the education, and you're already in position. So as we start moving in that direction, you'll already be positioned. You'll already be poised. But
Got
that'll still be a part of a year and a half out because we want to make sure we handle this project now
it. Mhm.
and get everybody their rate of return. Make sure we build our own group of accredited investors who have good credit score, good business paydex scores, and in position to really acquire wealth. Just like Mr. Allen taught us. He taught us the key of everything was ownership.
Yes, he
Mr.
did.
Allen was my mentor.
Okay.
And Mr. Allen, as you know, was all about owning stuff. He
Yes.
didn't he didn't believe in just doing stuff. He believed in owning stuff.
Yeah.
And so with that teaching is kind of the residue from him is what I'm sharing today. So it's funny that you live in that area
Yeah.
because that's where my teaching came from. I learned from Mr. Allen.
Yeah.
And you saw what he built.
Yeah. And I know that I graduated. Well, she graduated. His cousin graduated a year after me. So his niece, my fault. His niece. Yeah.
Beautiful. So
Yeah.
yeah, brother. Hey, welcome to the family, brother. Let's
Thank
do something special and let's make some impact. But I
All right.
definitely love to have you. We
All right.
appreciate
Thank
you
you.
hopping on. Yes,
Thank
sir.
Awesome. Yeah, Coach D, man. That was can't make that up. 5 miles from the spot, man. That's it's just big. It's the kind of energy, man. It's awesome, man.
Synergy,
Anybody
baby.
else?
Synergy, baby. The synergy is
Yeah, it's
moving.
good. It's good. Anybody else have any questions? I don't think I had anything in the chat. Everybody was just agreeing and following your instructions. So but I think we're good. If anybody else just unmute, got any questions? We're good to go. Oh, I think I have a question. So, you talked about credit business entity building. Y'all have that infrastructure in place as well for those that may have to work on some things as well. Maybe, work on those things to get to the next phase of where they can get those. You talked about construction loans and all that as well.
Absolutely. So we work with a group of lenders, and obviously we do business structuring directly, right? And so if a person needs to be put in a place to get lending, right, who has a 700 plus credit score and already ready to move right now, we can work with that. I help you get lending. We have one of our lenders right now, and they can get a client 150 to 250,000 the first 30 days in a first round, 0% interest for 12 to 18 months, and still be able
Mm,
to move forward. And
mm,
so to be able to do that through the business credit card stacking program, right? So that's
mm.
0% interest through like Chase Inc. and different corporations like that.
Right.
They have one particular project right now that they're getting their clients 63,000 in the same day, and again,
Mm,
0% interest. And so we have a good strong network with a company that we partner with out of New York that does this process. Very, very good at it, and they started in real estate too. So it was kind of the irony of how that happened. They started as a real estate company, and this funding mechanism that they developed is how they help their network grow. And so we partner
wow.
with them to be able to handle that. We also have a partnership with some companies that do term loans and lines of credit under the business. Again, building it under the business paydex score. And if a person is
Right.
brand new, starting out a corporation, we will take you through that business structuring process of how to make sure you have the LLC, the Dun and Bradstreet, how to get the Experian business, register your paydex score, that the digital footprint. What most people don't realize, in order to get the proper funding, you have to have the proper digital footprint. Like if you put your business down on paper and walked away from it, what they see on paper is what your business is. A lot of entrepreneurs think about the talent that they have and they think that overshadows the fact that their business is not properly structured. It doesn't work like that. What your business looks like on paper is the stability of what a person who doesn't know you is going to perceive that your business is. So helping a business owner get their website set up, helping them get their domain registered to their business versus versus Gmail or Yahoo. All this stuff matters. Making sure you have a virtual office, making sure you have a business phone number, not your cell phone number, right? Google My Business. Make sure you're registered. Like all these things matter to make sure you maximize funding. These are the secrets that's behind the scene that most people don't realize. Some people just say, "I want funding," but they don't
Mm,
realize that it's 100 different factors on the application that'll get your application denied. And so
mm.
if you don't actually cover these factors, you're in a position to get denied before you start. So being in our syndicate, what we offer is the knowledge to help people actually bridge that gap to really get what they want to have. That's the power of the network.
Okay. You learn something new every day. Uh, Anybody else? I don't have anything. I'm looking forward to this run though, because you gentlemen are yeah, you're definitely people that you want to be in business with and relationships with. So appreciate y'all's time, and I think we're done for the day. If anybody has anything, I'm going once, going twice, going three times. We're out of here. See you tomorrow, same time. You want to just hear it again, if you just want a little bit more confirmation or whatever you need to hear, or maybe just bring someone and share it with them, because it's all about the like you talked about yesterday, Sloan, the coalition, and the
Yes, sir.
collaboration. And man, it's about you, but it's also about who you know, right? And those that may have the ability to get started, you just heard them, they can get 63K in a day. I, I'm pretty sure he's telling you like it is. So,
Hmm.
and then what else is at the table as well? There's so many other things, but we'll never know if you don't, hit your wagon and start to ask those type of questions. So again, appreciate you guys being on, and Sloan, Bilbo, appreciate you gentlemen for doing what you do, and being, just super professional with this presentation today. And I'll be in touch obviously when we wrap this up, and we'll get ready for tomorrow as well. So thanks everybody for being on. We're right at the top of the hour. That was perfect. And if you got any questions, y'all know where to reach me. I'm here. All right.
All right,
God
thanks,
bless
guys.
everybody.
All right, have a good day.
Appreciate it. Bye bye.
All right. Bye-bye.